Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. I could do that. Who knew? Yeah. Okay. Let's try that then. Yep. According to the cloud. That's good. Yep. It's good. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. So there's all these channels out there, whether they're TikTok or Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever. How do you figure out which one is the one for you to use? Or should you use multiple channels?
No, well, I think that you've got to work out where your audience is. So if your audience, if you're appealing to a 50+ market, the likelihood is that you don't need, you can ignore Snapchat and you can ignore TikTok at the moment, and you can, you know, maybe ignore Instagram and IGTV. Having said that, IGTV has, the algorithm is very, very favourable to IGTV and to Reels at the moment. So, but I think that very much depends on what sort of business you've got, whether you're on Instagram or not. But if you're, but you know, if you're an older market, most people are on Facebook and on LinkedIn, and so you would choose, it gives you some sort of structured things that you can make a decision about, that you would be recording your video in landscape like this,
Oh,
whereas
right.
in IGTV you would be recording like this.
I want to know. I didn't know that.
Yes, yes. So you know, so you already know what shape you're recording in, and you would also know that you know, sort of the sort of length. So on LinkedIn, I would say no more than a 3-minute video. You know, you don't need, you know, because people aren't going to hang around for longer than three minutes. One of the things I think that people do is they think of video, oh, the easiest thing to do is push the button and do live. And it is a very easy way to start, but I think it's actually a really hard way to start, because, you know, you've got lots of notifications that come up, which are very distracting. You've got the quality of the recordings, I don't think, are always so good. And you've also got to sort of contend with getting your message right, and, you know, the whole sort of nervousness about being on video and seeing yourself and hearing yourself on a screen. And so in many ways that sort of live arena is actually very difficult, although it's the easiest to start off with. So I suggest to people that they either if they want to have a go at live video, you can actually, on Facebook, if you're recording on your own profile, you can actually choose in the drop down to record just to yourself. So you're the only person who can see it. So you can just sort of work out whether it's right or not. But you know, maybe better to use your phone, and there are apps that are teleprompter. It will offer a teleprompter service, and you can write a script, and you can just record it on your phone privately and just have a go and see how it works.
And do you think, I've noticed that I thought when I was starting this startup school that I was just going to be able to be kind of free flow with it and just kind of wing it. And some of them I have, because I've been like, oh, I'm just going to go for this. Let's just see what happens. But actually, I've realized that when I write a script, and I recorded about 4 times, maybe 5, that by the 5th time, I'm pretty comfortable with it. So would you say in general that, what is it best to write a script? And you talk about the short lengths. Do each of these platforms have sort of ideal lengths as well?
Yes, well, I mean, for LinkedIn and for Facebook, I would say no more than 3 minutes. So, but you know, you can always do longer videos. You know, on Instagram TV, you can do up to 10 minutes, and unless you're one of the sort of favoured people who've got over 10,000 followers, when you can do up to an hour if you want. But obviously on YouTube you can have longer videos, but I think that if you sort of keep it down to 3 minutes, that's a good idea. And as far as scripting is concerned, I think that it's a very good idea. So some videos I will script, you know, so if there's something very precise that I'm teaching and I know that I'm going to forget stuff, you know, because there are too many, you know, there are too many numbers to remember, or too many this or that or the other, it's very helpful to have a script. But it depends on you as an individual. So some people can sort of like get some bullet points and stick them up on the side of their computer or by their phone, and that's enough for them. But other people, you know, as I say, would much prefer to have every word written out for them, which, you know, and you have to sort of work out how it works for you. But I think that the more you do, the easier it becomes.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
The one thing I would say is that if you're making videos, it's really important to add captions to them, because people very often watch videos on social media platforms on mobile, and they watch with the sound down. So putting the captions on them means that it can be read by your audience. So there are various ways of doing that. So you can have artificial intelligence on YouTube. They'll do your captions for you. There are various apps that will do it for you. You could send your video off, you could download it, send it off to rev.com, and they'll give you the captions. Or I suggest people have a look at an app called Vrew, which is VREW. Otter.ai will do, but there is something that happens which all this AI for me doesn't work, because my voice sort of, I think I've got a voice pattern where it speeds up and it slows down, and so I guess lots of scrambling and a lot of editing that I need to do. So I've just started using one which is called Mixed Captions, which seems to be a lot better. You do have to pay, so you have to pay something like £5 for you know, a certain number of minutes, so 360 minutes, but it works better for me. So I think you need to find out which one works best for you, because, you know, the worst thing is that you've done your video, you've got your captions, and you're spending the next sort of hour sort of on your phone trying to edit what you said.
I just discovered one called Subly. Do you know
Oh,
Subly?
Yeah. Yes, I've heard of those. Yes.
Yeah, so Subly seems to work really well, but again, it's only up to a certain length. So I thought these kind of more long form videos, I could get it to work, but actually after 15 minutes it stops. So it's a bit, so like you say, it's about finding the one that is going to do what you need it to do, right? And
yeah, absolutely.
I think the other good thing about some of these caption programs as well is that they'll allow you to download the transcript, and if you want to supply people with a bit of copy or some document, you can do that as well. So that's useful.
Yes, and I think the other thing is that obviously if you're going to put these videos up onto your blog, what happens obviously is that Google can't read video. So if you've got a transcript, it can read your transcript, so you get some SEO benefit for it, as long as you've used the words that, you know, the search words that you would, you know, that you're using for your website. So
so you have the video and then you put the transcript of the video underneath.
Yes,
I never knew that. Yeah.
The other thing is that if you've got a long video, it's actually better on your website. So if your video is, say, maybe over half an hour, it's better to put your transcript on a separate page and link it to the video, because the Google treats video pages and text pages differently. So it's actually better to put a link below and send it, because if you've got 1,000 words of text, they'll just assume it's a text page that's got no video on it.
There's so much to learn.
Well, I mean, sorry, but I mean, you know what? I sort of know lots and lots and lots of things. So I'm going to go on a really great little tip which I discovered this week, which is an app called Crisp, which is KRISP, and it's great for your Zoom meetings, because what it does is that it removes background noise on your recording, but it also will remove background noise on your callers calls. So so sometimes I've been interviewing people, and they've got sort of teenagers playing loud music, and you've got a class full of people, and all you can hear is this music coming through while they're talking. But yes, this app will actually cancel that out as well, and it's free, I think, for 120 minutes a week. So I would really recommend using
So I
that.
have to do a whole resource section under this. These are all the things that Anne mentioned during the call. Yeah, we're gonna do, I think I'm gonna do, maybe we'll see. Mark and I were talking about at the end of the videos to do a sort of like summation thing that just said while you were taking a nap.
Yes.
Because I assume that people might just go off and take a nap at some point.
Well, I hope not. They won't learn much as they do. So the other thing that I would recommend is, if you're making video, always obviously face the window, because you'll get light on your face like I've got now, and you might need to play around with that if you're in your office, because you'll find that the light is better in the morning than the evening. You obviously you don't want direct sunlight on your face, but you don't equally want it to be too sort of muted. So that's something I'm going to move, and I'm going to show you a top tip here. So I've got a lamp which is pointed towards the back of the wall, and this really makes a difference. And in fact, I've recorded quite a lot of sort of TV broadcasters where there's no light, and they sort of go around sort of buildings like mad, just find one of these to put it behind them. They're not so worried about light on their face, but it's the light behind that makes a difference. So that's a top tip. Always use
camera angle as well. The number of times that I've looked at myself, and because I've got one of these desks now that I bought off eBay or something, which is like one of these desks that goes up and down. Like it's not really a desk thing. It's just like a little platform. But what I've discovered since doing all of this is actually, if my computer is down on a table and I'm talking, then all you're seeing is this part of my face, and you're just looking at this the whole time, which is not very attractive. So I've now learned that I need to put it up a little bit higher, because actually the camera is not where you think it is. You kind of think it's a bit lower, but it's not.
You need to have your camera on at eye level, especially if you're using your webcam or your laptop. So yes, that's a good idea. But I try, not when I'm not always, but I try and actually do calls on my phone, because the camera's better.
Oh, okay.
Even on a Mac, the camera is better on your phone. So unless you want to go and invest in a webcam, but you can't buy them at the moment, because since lockdown, all the best webcams sold out instantly. But yeah, having a separate microphone is a really good idea. If you're on your computer, you obviously have, there are various sort of podcasting type microphones that you can plug into your computer, which are really good. And
do you have to spend a lot of money on them, or can you buy one that's like a reasonably priced one? I bought one because I thought it was going to be good for my singing, but actually it's turned out to be more of a podcasting stroke computer mic. But it was a secondhand one called a Zoom XA4, something like that. But that was expensive. But I've seen ones that are not expensive at all.
So I've got a blue Snowball, which I'll just. Yes, right. So this is my mic, and I've had it for years, and it's I've been really pleased with it. And in fact, a musician recommended me to get it. But yes, so it was about £60, but I've just recently bought one of these, which is a pop filter, because I've been doing some recordings and trying to put them up on podcasts, and then editing audio is so much harder than editing video, and you could suddenly see all these little ticks in your voice, and I was sort of like editing them out, and hopefully this is my newest thing. Hopefully it'll work. So
I tried to get into sound recording at the beginning of lockdown when I was singing, and I wasn't able to record with my pianist, who normally is over there, and I gave up. I just thought, do you know, life's too short, and I'm not a sound recordist. But I can appreciate that when you're just recording, you know, sound like this, then it's okay. Then it's okay. Yeah. It's not that difficult. I mean, I think that the thing is that whilst there are clearly bits and pieces that you can buy that are going to improve the quality, whether it's a light or a microphone or whatever, equally you can, to start with, just use your phone and use your computer. I found one of those teleprompter things, which was amazing, just in terms of being able to read my thing as I was watching it and change the speed. So yeah, I mean, I think as you get more into it, then you start thinking about what else can improve this stuff, right? But initially, I think just go for it.
Oh, absolutely. I think the thing is that, you know, no matter what you've got, it's always going to be it's always going to get better. Should we put it that way? You know, so I did a series which was 30 days of pictures, which was helping people take better photographs on their smartphones, and I think I got the first 5 days I scripted, and then because each video was taking me a day, and I was thinking, if I don't do the script, I'm going to save half a day. So you know, very quickly learned that you know, I knew what I was going to say. I was going to be on message, knew what I was going to say, and it worked. And I think that's the key thing, is to actually be really clear on your messaging and really know what you're going to say, and so that you don't get tripped up by stuff, because I think when you're doing live, you can get really tripped up by another idea coming into your head, or someone asking you a question, and you're, well, for me, my brain goes off in that direction, and then I can never get back to the subject.
Yeah, completely. You're talking about every video I make. It's okay though. It's okay. We get back there eventually. But no, and do you think things like selfie sticks are a good idea, or do you think when you start out, is it best to just try and, as you say, just be in a place? Or what's your feeling about like outdoor walking versus, you know?
Well, if you're outdoor walking, you are going to have to wear a mic, because you'll get wind noise, and so it's really important that you have a mic, and you might even need to have one of those sort of fluffy things which are called either dead cats, or sometimes they're called dead kittens, but you're going to need one of those if you're outside, so you need to be aware of that. And I think that, you know, sort of having a stabilizer, you know, just being stable, and it doesn't have to be expensive. So you can get, I'm just going to lean over, but you can get it on my desk. You can get a pile of books and something like this, which you can pick up for about, you know, a tenner, which is, you know, I use it for iPads, but also for your phone, so that you can just put your phone here. It's nice and stable, and you can sort of move this around, and you know, you can sort of work out what your background is, and you know, something like that is sort of absolutely perfect for starting out. And if you want to sort of start sort of branching out and doing other things, then you know, you can either sort of use the same principle and sort of use lots of books outside, you know, or you know, you can prop it up on a wall or something. You know, you just have to sort of improvise. But I mean, I've got various things.
You're the gadget queen over there.
Oh yes, I've got. Sorry, I'm just going to get. So you can use a gimbal, and you can get pick these up for about £60 or £70, which are really good for walking. Much better than selfie sticks, but if I can just get this set up. So your microphone goes on one on, or your phone clips in here, and you just walk around, and it sort of automatically stops everything sort of moving about. So so you get this. It's very smooth. So something like that. If but only if you want to spend £60 or £70 doing it.
Yeah, I've got one. I've got this one actually, but it's called.
All right.
Which
Yeah.
which isn't in this box because I've given it to my friend and he's not given it back to me.
All right. I've got another
All
one.
I've got is a box. I've just got the box. That's all I've got. Yeah. I mean, I bought this other thing. Talk about gimmicks. I decided that if I was going to sing by myself, I wanted something that would follow me around. So I bought this thing that just has a bass, and it's got an app that connects to it, and it literally, the app as it's recording is talking to this thing, and it's moving like that as I'm moving around. But the problem is that as soon as it loses sight of my face, because it has to zoom in on something, it goes completely mental. And it just starts it was only like £10 or something, but it's actually the guy that plays piano for me said to me, it's quite funny when it forgets you. It's just panning around the walls. So I think you can go a bit overboard with these gimmicky things, and actually
I mean,
you don't need them. You don't need them.
You don't, I've got another tip. If you're doing voiceovers, if you're editing and you've got B-roll in your video, put a coat over your head, because you'll get better audio, because you're not going to have or a blank room with your because you'll get echo, or make sure you're in a room with lots of cushions and curtains and soft furnishings, because that'll absorb the sound. So I mean, sound is so difficult to edit.
Yeah, but again, it's like how professional. And I think that if lockdown has taught us anything, it's that we all know where we live. Everybody knows what our background, where we live, where we are. Oh, it's your kitchen. Oh, it's your study. Oh, it's whatever. And I think that people are willing to make, they're just a lot more accepting. Like the whole, there's a level of professionalism that's good. Like crackly noise, not good. Lots of wind noises, not good. Wobbly phone, not so good. But as long as it's pretty good to start with, as long as it's pretty good and just getting comfortable, then I think, as you've discovered, you can start buying lots of toys and things around it just to improve it, because then it starts becoming fun.
Yes.
And then as it becomes more and more fun, you think, what can improve it, what can make it better, what can make it more fun, what can, but at the beginning, for me, it was just about doing it, like everything else.
Yeah, I think that's important. I mean, obviously when I do my courses, what I teach people is to do a little bit of video, to camera, and then actually to be able to go into other clips and just do a voiceover over the top of it, so you don't actually have to be on screen all the time, because I think there's also an element that if you're on the screen for too long, people get really bored, and that's when the captions are essential, and or people will go off and they're not listening. But if you're sort of showing them something quite interesting on the screen, then or something different, I think that that they will hang around.
Yeah, well, I mean, editing's a whole nother topic for discussion, but I think this has been great. I'm sure I have now got to build a whole resource of all the, or you're going to have to send me a whole list of everything that you've just shown us. And I'll have to do little links to anything that's not Amazon, if I can actually find it, because I don't want to put another £1 billion in that guy's pocket. That's just me. And we'll put a clip to whenever your next course is as well. And of course, the one thing that's the most important, and let's not forget it, for all the ladies and the women out there, is
Yeah, the red lipstick.
Red lipstick. Mine's MAC. What is it called? Ruby Woo. And yours?
Mine is I've had for years. I think, yeah, I don't know what it is. It says I can't. It says collection exclusive by Eva, but I don't know what. I've had it for years. It's on my desk. I wondered. I wondered actually whether I could claim it. But oh, it's L'Oreal. I wondered whether I could whether I could claim it back against tax. I wondered.
Yeah, I can't. Every time I look at videos where I'm not wearing red lipstick, I'm like,
Yes.
not
Yes.
happening. Anyway.
Yes. So.
Thank you, and lovely to see you.
Right.
Enjoy. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.